Hello friends and welcome to a new video. Now I am currently 21 weeks pregnant and the pregnancy clothes that I have are from when I was pregnant the first time, which is fine because they only got so much wear, but they were hand-me-downs, and I also suspect they were hand-me-downs of hand-me-downs and potentially of hand-me-downs because they came from my cousin who has like 3 sisters and they were all pregnant at overlapping times. So I kind of wanted a little bit of a refresh. Now, I also have some pregnancy clothes from one of my friends who with each pregnancy was pregnant before I was. So I got her hand-me-downs too. So basically I've done very little shopping in terms of pregnancy clothes. And in a way that's a really good problem to have because you only have these clothing items for a certain amount of time. And in a way it's like the less money you could spend on it, the better. But you also want to feel cute and confident and comfortable all at the same time, especially when it is a time of life when your body is going through so many changes and you're experiencing all kinds of physical, emotional, mental things that sometimes having something you look good and feel good in is important. Also, with my first pregnancy, I got a lot of clothes from Goodwill, which was fabulous because a lot of them actually looked great when I was pregnant with my first. And this time I wanted to go a little bit of a different route, especially having a toddler. There's not much time for me to be able to go to a store, or at least go to a thrift store to look for clothes. And you really have to hunt for them because there's not often a maternity section. And if it is, it's very, 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 very little. So I wanted to try something different, and that was where I was like, well, what about Stitch Fix? And I think the last time I used Stitch Fix, I was about maybe like 9 months postpartum, maybe a little bit more, but definitely before my son turned a year. And it was great because a lot of the clothing items that they sent were somewhat breastfeeding friendly, definitely not breastfeeding friendly specific, but could meet that mark. The clothes also had some stretch and some give to them, so they did a pretty good job at giving me clothing items that would see me through my breastfeeding journey and also like my changing body. And I think I still wear a couple of the items currently into my pregnancy. I decided why not give Stitch Fix a try. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Stitch Fix, but I also don't hate it. It's just like I love a good deal. And I feel like these types of like online, we shop for you, style for you services, they do come with a little bit of a cost. So I'm not a fan of necessarily paying for that, but it is a nice feature, I guess you could say. But it's kind of like you're walking the line between I want to get something where I feel good, but not at a too high cost because I might not be able to wear it for too long. Now, if you've never used Stitch Fix before, and I imagine the other services like this are pretty similar, is that you tell them kind of like what you're looking for. So I believe if I can get a screenshot of my little paragraph that I left for them as far as what I was looking for, I'll put it in the screen. However, basically what I said was I'm looking for pieces that are going to see me through pregnancy. I want to still be able to wear them after I give birth and hopefully breastfeeding again. So it's a little bit of a difficult ask, in my opinion. And on top of that, it has to meet my like style requirements. Now, right now, my style is pregnant lady. Whatever fits, fits. But I really love like a collagecore aesthetic. I also like kind of preppy. So I definitely have my own style. It's just like right now while I'm pregnant, it's just kind of like whatever fits, and whatever hand-me-downs and whatever I've purchased for my previous pregnancy is what I'm currently wearing. So like I said, it is kind of an ask for the stylist to be able to meet such specific criteria as far as being pregnancy friendly, breastfeeding friendly, and potentially even have longer term wear than just both of those phases in my life. So, and as well as fitting my aesthetic. So with that said, let's jump into the pieces and see if I can even try to like style it somehow. Let's give it a whirl. I will say with Stitch Fix, I usually get like a card that shows you how to style each item and how to style them together. However, this time I did not get that card, which I kind of really missed that. And I wonder if I didn't get it because I don't have any bottoms that came with my order. It's just tops and a dress. I went online and I did see like how you can style the pieces and like different outfits you can put together, and a lot of them were pretty similar. Again, if I can get screenshots, I will put those in. But starting with the first piece, so I got this like flannelly kind of shirt. I don't think it's cotton, and that's another thing too that as far as my style goes, I've been wanting to wear more natural materials. Again, with pregnancy, stretch is key, so I'm not surprised that if this actually wasn't cotton, you know, because it should give a little bit of stretch. But let's see. Yeah, so polyester, viscose, and spandex. This one I'm undecided about. Now, I love green, and I actually have a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, I have several green items, but they're more of like a foresty, kind of like a deeper green, and this type of green is more like minty colored. So I like it. It does currently, hopefully I wasn't blocking the mic. So it does currently close over my belly, and there's definitely plenty of stretch for belly growth as I'm only halfway through the pregnancy. I think this one's gonna have to go back. Now this next one I think is actually really cute and definitely something I would wear even not pregnant. It fits. So let's go ahead and try her on. All right, sadly, I think this one might have to go back too. I actually really do like it. I'm not big on prints, and this print's not too bad. It's pretty subtle. It does kind of remind me of like cells or something, and it's a nice neutral color, which I've also been liking, and it is very breastfeeding friendly. However, as you can see my bra, so I don't know, I haven't encountered too many breastfeeding bras that don't like, you know, that have more coverage or have less coverage. And this one, it's also just kind of like loose at the top. I don't think it's just going to work out. Even if I do continue, obviously I'm going to continue getting bigger, and I don't necessarily think I'm going to fill out this enough such that it's just not going to be like, it falls off very easily. It's just kind of like loose up here. Like it needs to be a little bit tighter. So I'm not a fan, but I do like the top in general. I like the concept, the idea. However, the execution is just not quite right. As you can see, it's a little bit like loose along the neckline. And perhaps if the sleeves were brought in a little bit more just to cover up, you know, your bra straps, that would be a little bit better. But yeah, I think this one's gonna have to go back. All right, now this one is super cute, and actually I could see myself wearing this basically forever, even though it is pregnancy and breastfeeding friendly. It is kind of like a tulip top where it's split down here, so there is some exposure that can happen. Okay, I'm wrong. Okay. I didn't realize there was a, yeah. I guess it's breastfeeding friendly. I don't know. Crap. I was really, really excited about this one. It's super soft. The color is beautiful. It's like a, I don't know, berry color. It's really, really pretty. Is it breastfeeding friendly? Yeah, I guess to an extent it is. It's super soft. I don't know if I already said that. It's super comfortable. I think it might be a keeper. All right, let's try the next one. Okay, so I think I found another keeper in this shirt. It's a beautiful color. It is polyester-y feeling. I didn't check, but I don't think I need to. I'm pretty sure. Viscose spandex. Yeah. So it's not cotton, but that's okay. It's very lightweight. It's a beautiful color. It's like a mauve color, I think, which I think looks pretty good with my skin tone. It has these really pretty buttons. They do work because sometimes, you know, you get fake buttons and you get surprised by the fact that they are non-operational buttons, but these actually do work, which means it passes the breastfeeding test. I mean, obviously I can go in this way as well. This will be a nice like postpartum shirt. Definitely very stretchy. I don't necessarily love the elastic here with this pregnancy for some reason. Like even the elastic around my pants and shorts has been bothering me a lot, so I've been just like folding it down. I don't know, it's just like it makes me feel very uncomfortable. And I don't know if this elastic on the shirt is going to exasperate that. Otherwise, it's pretty comfortable, and like I said, it's cute. It does cover the bra straps. I'm gonna have to think about this one, but I think it might be a keeper. All right, so the last piece that they sent me is this dress, and like I said before, I'm not really big on patterns, or at least certain patterns. Um, and this might be one of them. Now, I'm 99.9% sure this dress is going to go back. For one, it is not the most breastfeeding friendly. Also, it's kind of like too fancy, I feel like, for everyday wear. And I don't think that's going to be very practical, especially with a toddler. And I don't have any events coming up where I would need something nice to wear, where I already have something in my closet that is pregnancy friendly and fits the bill of like looking nice. It is pregnancy friendly, like it does stretch. There's not much give though. Like I don't know how much more I can grow where it would be maxed out. I am wearing my shorts underneath. I don't want to take them off. But yeah, there's not much give. It does have this like cute like tie strap on one side, but not so much the other. It's just like kind of impractical. Um, yeah, this one kind of really missed the mark. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. Now, in case you were wondering, as far as the cost of each item, I do have a breakdown here. So for the button-up shirt, that is $69.50. For, I don't know which one, the Linda short sleeve top. Oh, dark pink. It's okay. So like the one I called mauve. That one is $33.97. Oh, I'm guessing that, yeah, the sweater, the like burgundy sweater is what they're calling it. It is $65. Okay, the dress is $59, and the other top that was kind of loose at the top, that one is $49. Now, if I were to buy all 5 of those items, I would have received a 25% discount, bringing my total from $276.47 to $177.35 for those 5 items. So that amounts to about maybe like $35-$40 per item, which to me for a top seems like a lot. The sweater, not so much. Sweaters do tend to cost a little bit more, and that one felt really nice, really good quality, but also very soft, comfortable, all that. As far as the top, I don't think it's necessarily that worth it, as cute as it is. And really, those were the only 2 items I wanted to keep. So I don't know if I can justify necessarily the cost for those 2 items. I do really like them. I do have a couple more days to think about it before I have to return whatever I don't want to keep. So in conclusion, I think in this instance, it didn't quite hit the mark as far as what I was looking for. One of the pieces, I don't know if it was just like badly made, but it was just like too stretched out at the top. It was bad execution. The dress, not much stretch to it, but in addition to that, it's just like not necessarily much stretch, but much room to grow, even though they are calling that a maternity dress. The other thing with dresses too, it's like if they don't have pockets these days, like I'm probably most likely not going to buy it. It's just so impractical for me to not be able to carry my my credit card and my ID and chapstick for my son in my pockets. Those are pretty much the things I always carry in my pockets. Anyway, and then the green button-up top, it's just not quite in the color palette that I have in like most of my wardrobe currently. So, and that's not the stylist's fault necessarily, but yeah, this just didn't quite hit the mark. I don't know if I had been styled by somebody else that they would have picked different pieces, but I also think that Stitch Fix might be limited in their maternity offerings. I don't know if I can necessarily recommend Stitch Fix. And it's so hard when you're pregnant. A lot of, at least in my town, the motherhood maternity stores closed. So it's not like you can go in and shop maternity. Old Navy offers maternity clothes, and Target, you can actually go to the store, I believe. Some Targets have maternity clothing that you can try on at the store, and I think Old Navy doesn't, from what I've experienced. So it's difficult. And I think at the end of the day, it's just like, try to get through the best that you can. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.